So you're brand new to Town of Salem 2. In this video, we're going to talk about all the new stuff in the game. So without further ado, let's jump right in. The Town of Salem 2 has a bunch of new roles in it. Let's go over the new town roles. We've got the Coroner. You can perform an autopsy on a dead player during the day, and then once an autopsy has been performed, you can check a living player each night to determine if they were the killer. Another town investigative that is brand new is the Seer. You can choose 2 players at night to determine if they're on opposing factions. We got Deputy, a new town killing. You may choose to shoot a player during the day. Another town killing, we've got the Trickster. You may trick an attacker against you into another player. You can redirect multiple attacks in one night, and any attackers you redirect will be notified of being tricked. There's a new subcategory of town roles in Town of Salem 2. It's called the Town Power roles. You have the regular roles in it like Jailor and Mayor, but they've got a couple new ones. First one is Monarch. You can choose to knight a player during nighttime. A knighted player will permanently have an extra vote. You have basic defense while a knighted player is alive, and you cannot knight the same player twice. The other town power role is Prosecutor. You may prosecute a player during the day. A prosecuted player will be put on trial and their verdict will be guilty. If you prosecute a town member, you will die immediately. And then moving on to the town supports, we got the Admirer. You may propose to a player during the day. If they accept, both of your roles will be revealed to each other and you lose any remaining proposals. If your target accepts and is a town member, you will become lovers. If your lover dies, you will die. If you die, your lover will die. You can care for your lover during nighttime and give them powerful defense or remove some negative effects. If your target accepts and is a non-town member, you will be put into a toxic relationship and be silenced the following day. You cannot propose to a player on day 1. That's all the new town roles. Let's move on to the new Coven roles. We've got the Dreamweaver. You may invade the dreams of a player and attempt to drive them insane. Players won't go insane the following night if they're visited by a town member or if they are a non-town role. Insane players cannot use any day abilities and will randomly vote and target at night. Insanity is permanent until the Dreamweaver dies. So next up, we've got the Enchanter. They can do 2 different things. They can either choose to enchant a player and basically frame them. So if they get checked by a sheriff, they'll show sus. Or you can alter someone's role and last will at nighttime and make them appear as if whatever you selected is dead. So it's sort of like the Framer and the Forger put together now. We got the Illusionist. You may cast an illusion on a Coven member at night to make them appear innocent. Your illusion targets will appear innocent to investigators, sheriffs, psychics, seers, and your illusions will make bodyguards and trappers not interact with your target. Next, we got the Conjuror. This is the Coven counterpart to the Deputy. You can conjure a meteor during the day to kill someone. We got the Jinx. You may choose to lie in wait at your target's house, dealing a basic attack to one random non-Coven visitor. All players visiting your target will learn your identity. We got the Ritualist. You may perform a blood ritual on a player at night, attempting to guess their role. If you guess your target's role correctly, they will be dealt an unstoppable attack. If you guess your target's role incorrectly, you will be revealed to everyone as the Ritualist. You cannot guess town investigative roles. We got the Voodoo Master. You can choose a player each night to silence. Your target cannot talk or whisper the next day. You cannot silence the same player twice in a row, and silenced players will not be able to vote during the discussion phase. But if someone has been voted, they can still vote guilty or innocent. Finally, for the new Coven roles, we've got the Wildling. You can see every player that the town visits at night. Very strong role. There is a brand new faction in Town of Salem 2. It's called the Neutral Apocalypse faction. It's got 4 roles in it, and all 4 of those roles transform after they've completed a certain requirement. Once they've transformed, they become even stronger. Now, only one of these roles can spawn in at a game at a time, but there is a unique mode where all 4 of them can spawn and work together against the town. Starting off with the Baker. You can choose to give a player bread each night. If 3 living players have bread, you will transform into the Famine. If there are less than 3 players alive before you transform, you will die and lose the game. Now, once you've transformed into the Famine, after giving 3 living players bread, you'll become invincible, and everyone will get a notification that you exist. If people fail to lynch you the night after you transform, you will deal everyone who doesn't have bread an unstoppable attack. Players who have bread will live an additional 3 days before dying of starvation. And the ability you have is that you can choose someone at night to speed up their starvation by 1 day. Next, we got the Berserker. So the Berserker is like the Juggernaut from Town of Salem 1. Every time you kill someone, your powers level up. On your first kill, you may attack a player each night. On your second kill, you will rampage at your target's house, passively killing any visitors. And on your third kill, you will transform into War. Once you turn into War, you get unstoppable attack and invincible defense. You can kill a player each night, dealing an unstoppable attack. And you'll rampage at your target's house, passively killing any visitors. Plaguebearer / Pestilence is also in the Neutral Apocalypse faction, but it's pretty much the same as Town of Salem 1. Soul Collector, however, is brand new. You can watch a player each night to collect their soul. If the player you watch dies at night, you will collect their soul. You'll passively gain 1 soul from the underworld, and once you've collected 6 souls, you'll transform into Death. Once you've transformed into Death, everyone will get a notification that you exist. So they have pretty much 1 day to lynch you, and if they fail, the game auto ends and you just win. Now this game has one brand new neutral evil in it. It's called the Doomsayer. My personal favorite, by the way. You can select 3 players each night and attempt to guess their role. If you correctly guess the roles of all 3 players, they will be dealt an unstoppable attack. After successfully dooming 3 players, you will leave the town in victory. All the neutral killings are pretty much the same, but they've added a new one, which is called the Shroud. The Shroud can choose to attack or shroud a player at night. If you get shrouded, it means that you'll deliver an astral basic attack to any players that you visit. And you will also appear to be a harmful visitor, which means that if I'm a sheriff, for example, and I get shrouded and I visit Nine's house and Nine has a trap on him, I'll die to the trap. That's what the Shroud can do. And if they don't have a trap on him, then I'll just kill Nine. That's the new roles that have been added. Now, we should go over some of the big changes or reworks that happened with old roles. For example, the Investigator doesn't check someone and get a bunch of investigative results anymore. You're just checking to see if they have blood on them or not. If they have blood on them, it means they've attacked someone. Spy is completely different. All the Spy does now is bug a player's house to see what happens to them at night. Jailor has had one major change to it. Actually, a couple major changes. The first one is you can't jail the same person 2 nights in a row. And the second one is if you execute a town member, you will lose the ability to jail completely. Amnesiac is now a town role. You will automatically remember a random town role that died during nighttime. Escort has been renamed to Tavern Keeper. You cannot role block the same person 2 nights in a row. Now, the Coven Leader has been changed in this game. They can't control anymore. Now they can just attack, but they also have a toggle allowing them to remove their basic defense in exchange for a more powerful attack. The Medusa is not like the Veteran anymore. You can't bait people in and just stone gaze a whole ton of people. Now it works like the Janitor. The only difference is all the Coven members can actually see what the stoned person's role is. The Poisoner is like the Consort now. You can role block people during nighttime. You can't role block the same person 2 nights in a row. And on one instance, you can choose to poison someone. The Hex Master can't frame people anymore, but you can still get the Hex Bomb. Also, the Jester now gets 1 vest that they can use to defend themselves from a basic attack at pretty much any time. The Serial Killer has been slightly buffed. When they've gotten 2 successful kills in a row, their Bloodlust will consume them and their next basic attack will become a powerful rampaging one. It should also be noted that this game does not like Kingmaker situations at all. If a Pirate wins, they leave the game. If an Executioner wins, they will kill someone and leave the game. If a Jester wins, they die and they leave the game. That's pretty much all the new roles. Also, this game has day animations in it. This game has 3 new modes. The first one is the 4 Horsemen mode. It's the one we spoke about earlier where there's 4 horsemen and they work together against the townies in one big faction. They can talk during the nighttime. The second one is called Dracula's Palace. It has vampires against townies. Vampires are confined to this mode. They can't be in any other mode except for this one. And we've also got the Wandering Souls mode, which has a cursed soul roll in it. And it's sort of a game of hot potato. This game has new chat settings. So by default, colors will be enabled. You can choose to get rid of this if you want to. There are also chat icons that you can enable or disable. And there are 2 different fonts, the classic one or the new one. You can also use shortcuts in the chat by using hashtag, colon, and @. And finally, this game has a whole bunch of new cosmetics. You can upgrade your house, you can get pets, you can change your skins. you can buy new characters, people can visit your home in the lobby, and while they're dead at nighttime. If this video was helpful, use the creator code PIPETRON in the town shop, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.